Maya will get the dunk at the buzzer. For the 8th time in school history, a Maple Girls softball team is going to state. Hello and welcome to the final Sports Jam for 2019. I'm Jay Wilcox.
And I'm John Jacobson. This week on the show, highlights from some of the many holiday playoff games around the area from late last week.
Plus a look back at some of our favorite Sports Jam spotlight stories from 2019.
And we'll get started with a huge matchup in girls basketball. The two-day holiday showcase hosted by Park Center always has some good teams. This season, the finale of the event pitted unbeaten and top-ranked Hopkins against the host Pirates, also undefeated and ranked third. And there's a lot of scoring in this one. Hopkins' Paige Beckers knocks the ball away from behind, gets the steal, and comes back the other way. Hits a jumper on their lane on the way to a 30-point night. Then it's Beckers dishing a great pass to Nudu Agaro for a layup. The Royals zip out to a 13-4 lead. But a lot of the first half belonged to Park Center's Adalia McKenzie. He gets the steal and breakaway layup here for two. And then off a missed three-point shot, the junior muscles up for the offensive rebound and put back for two more. He goes 11 for 12 from the field in the first half. A 17-footer for two more. McKenzie scores 27 first-half points for the Pirates if they still trail 54-42 at halftime. Early second half, and the Royals start raining threes. Beckers to KK Adams for a triple. She scores 11 points in the game. Maya Najee makes her first three-point shot of the season on her first try of the year. 19 points for her in the game. All five Royals starters score in double figures. McKenzie scores 42 points in the game, picks up an assist here, setting up Olivia McGill for the layup. Pirates get as close as 11, but Hopkins hits enough free throws to seal the win. Taylor Woodson hitting one of her 21 points from the line late in the game. Hopkins wins its 43rd straight game. 97-79 Royals is the final.
The first half was just a lot of nerves from both teams and just a lot of fast-paced kind of nonsense sort of, but it was really fun. It was a really fun atmosphere, and in the second half we started cleaning it up, but it was just a really fun game to play in. I think it's a really good win for us. Yesterday and today were two tough games. We usually don't get those in the regular season. Like last year, we didn't get those tough games, so it's really good. We have a lot to learn from.
Also at the Park Center Showcase, the Champlin Park girls scored a nice 2-point win over Eden Prairie on day one. They look to follow up with another good showing against Minnetonka on Saturday. And the Rebels do start strong. Gina Steffrud pops a three from the wing for an early 6-2 lead. Seconds later, it's Maya Fitzpatrick nailing one from the top of the key. Champlin Park hits its first three threes to go up 9-2. But Minnetonka settles in. Sophie Hayden with a nice up and under move for two of her game-high 17 points. And Ella Murray sinks a three from the left wing as the Skippers build a 10-point halftime lead on the Rebels, 33-23. Second half, and the Skippers in transition. Desiree Ware to Emma Dasovich for the tough catch and basket plus a foul. It's 38-23 Skippers. Champlin Park battles back. Izzy Quick powers it inside for two of her 14 points, 12 of them coming in the second half. And Maya Dubose pops a three from the top of the key on her way to a 13-point performance. The Rebels fight back to within 7, but Minnetonka is never seriously threatened. Piper Terry drives and scores the tough hoop as Minnetonka wins at 63-54 over the Rebels. The Cooper girls have been in the past two state tournaments in Class 3A. The Hawks were in a good holiday tournament at Roseville High School as they face Centennial, ranked 5th in Class 4A in the quarterfinals. Jody Anderson drives and switches to the left hand for a nice finish for Centennial. They go up 6-2. The Cougars swing it around to Jenna Geyer for the jumper from the wing. She nets 18 and Centennial goes up 16-5. But Cooper overcomes the slow start in transition. Jayla Relaford to Autumn Johnson, and her short shot spins and drops for a 17-16 Hawks lead. Drea Tribble splits the defense and drives it in for a layup. The teams are tied at 26-26 at halftime. Second half, and Anderson with a nice drive, and she banks it in for two of her 16. Centennial's up by 3. Mimi Wheeler goes to work for the Hawks. She banks it home on the fadeaway on her way to a 14-point game. The Hawks are back within 3 again. Relaford makes a couple of clutch threes as Cooper keeps it close throughout. She also scores 14. But Centennial never surrenders the lead. Grace Johnson with the reverse layup as Centennial wins 61-49. Cooper did beat Hastings in consolation play.
One of the big holiday events was the 54-team Granite City Classic in St. Cloud. The boys portion of that tournament featured a handful of local teams playing 2 games in 2 days, including 5th-ranked Park Center taking on number 3 Prior Lake and Marquette recruit Dawson Garcia. Pirates senior guard Joshua Brown had a huge game for PC. He hits an early 3-pointer and Park Center leads 8-2. 4 players touched the ball in this transition basket for the Pirates. It ends in another made 3 for Brown. He scores 27 points in the game. Park Center leads 23-11. Garcia led Prior Lake in scoring. He'll nail a 3. Nets 22 points in the game, but the Lakers trailed all night. They would also lose Saturday to Champlin Park. A Prior Lake turnover in the backcourt leads to a dunk for Datavius Frierson. He scored 16 points. Park Center leads 39-25 at halftime. Second half, and Frierson spots a cutting John Grigsby for the bucket in the lane plus a foul. Grigsby nets 10 on the night. Park Center's Dane Danger won the battle of big men. A couple of nice moves here in the paint by the Baylor signee gets him 2 of his 21 points. Late in the game, it's Danger finishing this play with a thunderous dunk. Park Center wins 82-68. The Pirates are now 6-1.
It's been the toughest game we've had so far. This team was the toughest team we've beat so far. So this will probably, we'll go on a run after this game. We got our confidence back up from this win, and we just know where we stand because this is a big win.
In girls hockey, the Walzer Invitational in Edina is usually one of the best holiday tournaments. Maple Grove was one of 2 local teams in that tournament. They faced Edina in the semifinals. Maple Grove assessed a 5-minute major penalty late in the first period, but the defense and goalie Brooke Casibo kill it off, and there's no score after 1. But the Hornets get 2 quick goals in the second. Tella Jungle's one-timer is off a stick and pops over Casibo for a 2-0 lead. Maple Grove cuts the lead in half less than a minute later. Sam Nordstrom scores on the backhander. And then in the third, Becky Belke fights through the check and snaps a shot, but it's turned away by Uma Cornier. Some good chances for the Crimson, but they can't get the equalizer, and Edina wins it 2-1. The Armstrong Cooper girls hockey program hosted a holiday tournament for the 24th straight year. The Wings facing the St. Paul Henry Sibley Riveters in the quarterfinals. No score in the first. Mackenzie Johnson gets a chance from the slot, but Veronica Morse makes the save. At the other end, Lindsay Botts handles a bouncing deflection here, and this game is scoreless through 1. Kelly Crandall's Armstrong Cooper team dominates the second. Claire Sondral here is stopped on a breakaway, but then she chases the puck down and sets up Paige Lloydold in front for the goal. The Wings break the deadlock to lead it 1-0 through 2. In the third, Johnson fires and Lloydold deflects it in as the Wings grab a 2-0 lead on a power play. Their huge edge in shots starts to pay off. A minute later, Kara Cook changes directions and gets it to Libby Plath over to Lauren Kruger for the goal. Armstrong Cooper wins 3-0. They lost to Bemidji in the semifinals and to Fergus Falls in the third-place game.
Also at New Hope, Osseo Park Center facing defending tournament champion Wilbur in the quarterfinals. Cardinals' Maya Munson skates into the slot, fires Wilbur's first shot on goal of the game into the net for a 1-0 lead 2.5 minutes in. Just 8 seconds later, McKenna Larson passes to Nina Dawson, who fires a shot home, and it's quickly 2-0 Wilmer. Osseo Park Center gets one back before the end of the period. Abigail today with a shot toward the net. Tabery Scherner there to put the puck away for a goal, and it's 2-1 after 1. Second period, the Stars' Tessa Strand's shot deflected into the net by Presley Kramer for a goal, tying the game at 2. That's the score through 2 periods. Third period, and out of the power play, Haley Iko centers to Scherner, whose backhander is in for a goal to put OPC ahead for good. Scherner adds another goal to complete her hat trick as the Stars win 4-3. They beat Fergus Falls in the semifinals, but lost 1-0 to Bemidji in the championship game. The Wayzata boys hockey team hosted the Tradition at the Pick tournament, a partnership with the Tradition in the Park tournament at the St. Louis Park Rec Center. The Trojans meeting HillMurray in the first round. Pioneers get 2 goals late in the first period. Seamus Regan's point shot deflected in by Charlie Strobel. It's 2-0. Wayzata gets on the board in the second. Tucker Ness zips the point shot home for a power play goal. The third period, action-packed. Carson Peters' shot deflects off a body to Hayden Davison. He tucks it in for the tying goal for the Trojans. Good work on the wall by HillMurray's Henry Eischen. This pass finds Nick Pierre, and the Pioneers are back in front. But Wayzata doesn't fold. Jack Seaman sets up Jack Kimlinger on the doorstep. He buries the shot, and it's 3-all. And then in overtime, Wayzata captain Ben Lidke steps out from the corner and rips the high shot for the game-winning goal. Trojans win 4-3. They also beat St. Michael Albertville on Friday. And then on Saturday, the Trojans faced off against Blaine. First period, Jake Keller zips the pass. Gavin O'Connell finishes. It's a Wayzata power play goal. Keller takes the pass down low, whistles the shot in for another power play marker in the second period. And Wayzata goalie Garrett Benilde stops all 22 Blaine shots. The Trojans run their unbeaten streak to 9 games with a 3-0 win.
Benilde St. Margaret's was the host team for the Tradition in the Park portion of the tournament. Benilde faced Holy Family in the first round. Benilde leads 1-0 after 1, but the fire draw even early in the second. Trey Faco to Lucas Jorgensen for the goal. Then Taylor Heisey splits the Benilde defense and walks in. His shot is stopped, but Jacob McPartland pops in the rebound. It's 2-1 Holy Family. But the Red Knights tie it 37 seconds later. Charlie Warner's shot finds its way in, and it's 2-all. Early in the third, Benilde pulls ahead again. Nate Schweitzer sets up Adam Marshall for the one-timer, and the Red Knights win 4-3. They beat Lakeville South, but lost to Minnetonka in the third round to go 2-1.
Some really great tournament action there, Jay, in all sports.
Yeah, great week. Among other tournaments involving local teams, the Brack girls hockey team lost 1-0 to Edina in the championship of that Walser tournament. The Wayzata girls basketball team won the HillMurray tournament. Armstrong's boys basketball team won their bracket at the Bethel tournament, so they're playing well. When we come back, I'll look at a couple of memorable Sports Jam spotlight stories from the year 2019. Welcome back to Sports Jam. As we close the books on the year 2019, we're taking a look back at a couple of our favorite Sports Jam spotlight stories from the year. Up first, a dynamic duo that excelled for an Armstrong football team that enjoyed one of its best seasons ever. They're lighting it up on the field, just like they dreamed of for senior year.
Call, touchdown, Breitbach to Bowman.
But the scenario almost didn't play out this way for Armstrong quarterback Jake Breitbach and wide receiver Ty Bowman. Breitbach tore the ACL in his left knee in the section playoffs in basketball, and only an extra speedy recovery had him back on the field by game 1 this fall.
When they first did the MRI and he told me I tore my ACL, he basically said like it'll for sure be 9 to 10 months. So that for sure put all of football out of there. And then at that point, I was just hoping to get back for some of basketball. So yeah, it was a really pleasant surprise finding I could play football.
I always had in the back of my mind, like, Jake's a fighter, like he'll be back sometime, so I always got to be prepared. But just playing quarterback and playing receiver, it's part of the game. It's all fun.
The kids were pretty good because they just said, that's Superman. He'll be back, coach. He'll be back. And in my head, I knew I've been doing this a long time. That probably wasn't a possibility right away. And as we went on through the summer and, just hearing from some checkups and visits, they were optimistic. And so, we got to our point. I really just wanted him to be able to get on the field sometime this year, whether it be at the end or whatever, just because he's been a huge part of our program, and to be able to finish up playing out there. I just didn't think it would look like this.
Before Breitbach's recovery, Plan B had super talented receiver Bowman playing quarterback for the Falcons over the summer and early in fall camp. He's still taking a few snaps at the position, and he saes it's helped him as a wide receiver, too.
18, Breitbach going to throw deep down the sideline, and it is complete. Bowman trying.
Just knowing the offense from the quarterback position, so you know where everyone's running and who's blocking, and where I have to be for my landmarks as a receiver, it helps a lot.
Bowman's also battled through some injuries earlier in his career, but now is showing why he's received several D1 offers.
It's just consistency and like resilience, you know, that really shows. Like coaches tell us all the time, like if you can power through those tough times, you can really be good at something, and you know, I take that to heart.
I think his sophomore year and his junior year, he's been going through injuries, so he hasn't really had, you know, that like 1 year to solidify that because he's always been fighting injuries. But I think this year he'll definitely prove that he's one of the top receivers in the state.
You know, I've coached him since his 9th grade year and watched him go from a 5'9", 130-pound kid to, you know, 6'1", 6'2", 185-pound kid, and he's always been super talented, you know, and great hands, you know, spectacular with the football, but now he's got some size behind it, so absolutely I'll take him above all of them.
Armstrong's off to a 3-0 start, and with their move into Class 5A, they have a more legitimate shot of reaching the state playoffs. A strong senior class that goes well beyond Breitbach and Bowman expected good things all along.
Yeah, we did kind of think that because our sophomore year, we had quite a few guys that actually were moved up to varsity. And then we also, our sophomore team was like 8-0, so we knew we had a really good group of guys, and we were just kind of working towards this year. So we were put in a lot of work this summer to get here because we knew that we had the potential to be a really good team.
And if they can keep their quarterback healthy, the Falcons can soar this season.
You know, it's great to see him out there. You know, I'm not going to lie, I've been super nervous. You know, every time he takes off running, and you know, you get a little bit nervous, but he's just a competitor, so you know you would do that. And you know, the day he got cleared when he came back and started practicing full with us, you know, it lifts up the team. They all love Jake, and he's a great guy. He's been a great leader, and he brings confidence to our team.
Armstrong went on to have an undefeated regular season. They reached the Section 6 5A championship game, but lost a heartbreaker to Elk River to finish 9-1. We'll be right back.
The Wayzata volleyball team had a season to remember as they won their first championship in the sport. Jason Milillo profiled Trojan standout senior setter Olivia Johnson and outside hitter Elizabeth Helmick.
Wayzata volleyball coach Scott Jackson knew about Elizabeth Helmick when she was in grade school, but didn't think he'd ever see her in a Trojan uniform.
I heard of or met her when she was, I think, maybe 4th, 5th grade, and she wanted to be on a youth team at a private club where I coach, and it's like it was late, and I'm like, well, we got one more spot or a couple more spots, and I met her, and then I knew her uncle, and I asked her uncle, it's like, yeah, I see she's got a Plymouth address. I mean, I'm going to see her at Wayzata. It's like, no, she's in a private school right now. I think she'll probably end up at that private high school. I'm like, oh. I remember being a little bummed out in that moment.
Helmick enrolled in Wayzata schools in 6th grade after attending Minnetonka Academy and Providence Academy. Volleyball was already her passion, and the transition to a big school worried Helmick.
I remember being so stressed about sports because volleyball was my life, as any sport can be for a 5th grader, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna play at Wayzata, there's so many people. So it's just crazy to see how far I've come from being that little 5th grader who thought she would never play.
But Helmick thrived in the Wayzata program, and by chance came together with a lot of talented players who didn't grow up in the district. Fellow seniors Lily Emlog, Caitlin Emke, Kate Long, and Olivia Johnson all moved into the Wayzata district from out of state during middle school.
Me and Lily both moved here 8th grade year, Kate and Caitlin 7th grade, and it's crazy how such great volleyball players moved to the same school, and that definitely helped our program.
It's the best coincidence to ever happen. Like, all of those girls, like, we wouldn't be the same team without them, and it's just such, I wouldn't say lucky, but so amazing that we all get to be on the same team at the same time.
Johnson is a great facilitator for the Trojans offense. She's athletic and very smart, but also has a certain quality that elite setters need.
The thing that also that people don't necessarily appreciate if they don't understand the intricacies of it is she's very thick-skinned as well. She's getting constant feedback from coaches and teammates, and she works through that feedback to be the best player she can be in every moment.
I constantly get feedback from my hitters, and I definitely am asking for feedback from my hitters, like, what do you need here? Like, I'll get you this. So, like, just not being afraid, like, that if you do something wrong, like, not being afraid to get that feedback. And definitely, like, our coaches are pretty hard on the setter, so, like, as they should be, I feel like. So you just have to have really thick skin and just work over it to know that it's for the greater good of the team.
Helmick has accepted a scholarship to play volleyball at James Madison University next year. Through the recruiting process, she consulted a lot with her uncle, Jeff Carlston. Carlston is the head volleyball coach at Ohio State University.
Some of my favorite memories with him are like me sitting on the bench next to him, like at an away match, or like when they're at the Gophers, and like I get to be on the court with him and just like before the match, and that was really cool. So he's had a huge impact on my life.
Wayzata seniors have been through a lot since coming up to varsity as sophomores, and as their last postseason approaches, they're aiming to go out with a bang.
Helmick finishes it with, I would say, considerable authority, and it's 25-11.
The Trojans swept Elk River and North St. Paul and then won an epic 5-set battle against Egan in the final to capture the state Class 3A championship. And of course, a few weeks later, the Wayzata football team also won a state title. Stay with us. We'll wrap up Sports Jam in a moment. Don't forget to vote for this week's CCX Sports Play of the Week. 4 new top prep plays from the holidays are up now on our website. Go to ccxmedia.org, click on the Sports tab, and then go to Play of the Week to cast your vote. It's brought to you by Chick-fil-A of Maple Grove. We'll be right back.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood? Or when people know your name? Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. You can learn about the latest news through our truly local newscast. We cover and air around 150 high school sporting events every year. For our cities, we air parades and city meetings that you can watch whenever you want. Then, any citizen of our cities can create and share their own original content. We'll even teach you how to use the equipment too. We have always provided you with a connected community experience. And as life gets busier than ever, we will continue to engage, inform, and inspire through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.
Mark Friday, February 7th on your calendar for the District 279 Foundation Gala. Find out more at ccxmedia.org under cities and in the community.
Looking for local? Even more local. CCX Media connects you to your community and surrounding communities in multiple ways. CCX News connects you to your community through local stories that affect your daily life. Learn what's happening in your city, schools, and community. From top stories, sports highlights, and weekly features, CCX News offers truly local stories you won't find anywhere else. Our content can be watched at home or on the go. See all that we can do for you. Visit ccxmedia.org.
Don't miss the Maple Grove Polar Plunge to support Special Olympics on Saturday, February 1st. Find out more at ccxmedia.org under cities and in the community.
Looking for local? Even more local? CCX Media gives you the option to connect with your community on multiple levels. CCX Sports brings you ultimate coverage in local prep sports with full game coverage of over 120 high school games a year with highlights and features on our daily newscast. Then, our weekly Sports Jam show gives you a close-up look at local athletes, highlights of local games, and in-depth interviews. Our content can be watched at home or on the go. Visit ccxmedia.org.
There's no better way to celebrate winter than at the Plymouth Fire and Ice Festival on February 1st. Find out more at ccxmedia.org under cities and in the community.
Looking for local? Even more local? CCX Media gives you the option to connect with your community on multiple levels. CCX Create welcomes you, community residents, to connect and experience television in an exciting way. The free TV classes we offer will have you on your way to creating TV, and our wide variety of content can be watched at home or on the go. Connect to what's happening in your community. Visit ccxmedia.org.
Our game of the week should be a good one in boys basketball as Champlin Park hosts 7th-ranked Hopkins Friday night. Watch it live Friday at 7. It replays Friday and Saturday nights at 10 o'clock. And that will do it for this week's show. Thanks so much for watching Sports Jam.
Have a happy and safe new year. We'll see you again with our first show of 2020.